Hello and welcome to Arsenal Above All, first New Year edition. Happy New Year to everyone watching. I've got two legends with me. I had to kick off the New Year in the right way. I've got the Arsenal Godfather, Melvin, the only way is Arsenal Marks, and I've got the most dangerous Arsenal fan alive, the Arsenal Jason Bourne. There he is, Neil Shah, with us tonight to talk about a bit of a sticky win over Bournemouth on the south coast. Bit of a tricky one, but thanks to a lovely double from Declan Rice, the PFA Player of the Year. You might as well give it to him already. A lovely double from him got us over the line and to keep our lead to 6 points in the table. We've got lots of big games to come, and which includes a run of 4 games away from home. Which in 4 different competitions. I think that's the first time that's ever been happened to any club, I think, in the top flight. So, usual as Arsenal, it's always us to test the ground first and create records and everything like that. But before we get into it, let's run the proper intro. It's not the new one yet, Neil. It is coming, don't worry. But let's run the proper intro and then we'll get into it. Let's go. Hello and welcome to the show. Hello, Melvin. Happy New Year, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, fine. Happy New Year to you and everyone else watching tonight. And Neil, sorry, and Neil.
Great to have you on as always, mate. And I've also got obviously the aforementioned most dangerous Arsenal fan alive, Neil Shah. How you doing, Neil? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, gents. Yeah, no, great to be here. Thank you for having us on, and hello to everyone in the chat as well. It's already got a bit lively. Look at it. There you
go. Good stuff. Thanks, gents. Let's get into it then. A nice 3-2 win, which followed up the 4-1 destruction of Aston Villa over the after Christmas, and kept our lead at the top of the table. 6 points, 6 points lead after Man City deciding to let's not use the B word, the bottle word yet, but Man City dropping points against Chelsea. But let's have in terms of the Bournemouth game, Melv. Again, it seemed like we kind of have a little bit of a, what's the word? The first half performances are almost like, we almost like put it to the side, and then the second half we come out and we start playing, and we did that against Villa. We've done that quite a lot this season, where we've turned things around. I think there was a stat on on Sky, which we'll talk about later, about the goals we score straight from after half time. There's a 10-minute period where we scored the most goals after half time than any team in the league. What do you put that down to, Mel? Do you think that's just the way maybe Arteta wants to keep the handbrake on a little bit, or do you just think that's just because of our superior fitness, maybe the way we're drilled to come out flying in the second half? What was your thoughts just on that first half and just the way we kind of come out in that second half, kind of with full guns blazing?
I thought it was controlled first half, too controlled. I didn't like it really. We're at our best when we go at teams because our defence is allegedly, it's good, it's very good. Talk about that later. Our defence. We can afford to attack teams. When we sit back and we give the others a chance, we lose all our potency. I thought, all right, after 10 minutes we had a horrific mistake, but I wasn't actually that worried, to be honest with you. I was more worried when we were 1-0 up against Wolves and 2-1 up against Brighton. For some reason, I wasn't. I suppose because I was thinking that things can't get worse. We're too good to play like this second half. But why do we do it? I don't honestly know. I've got no idea. Surely it's be nice to kill off a game by half time, wouldn't it? Rather than the other way around. I mean, you don't want to keep playing the wrong odds on 45 minutes. You'd rather try and beat your team in 90 minutes. You've got more chance of scoring in 90 than 45. So why do we do that? I don't know. But listen, it's honestly, I don't know the answer, but I hope it's not contrived. It's just one of those things that they can actually turn the corner and go at teams from the minute. I mean, we did it a couple of years ago, didn't we? I think we played away to Bournemouth a couple of years ago. I think when Havertz scored his first goal from a penalty. We just murdered them the whole game.
Yeah.
It was like one way. It was like you expected one of the subs to run down the halfway line, but right down the line with a white flag. So, all right, let's call it, throw in the white tail now, and we'll thank 3 points. No more goals, please, against us. And get on with it. But we don't seem to do that. And I don't know why. I don't think it's anything to do with the squad. I honestly don't know. I don't know if Neil's got the answer.
Neil, you touch on that. Do you think it's anything to do with obviously the lineup?
Yeah, Arteta told me the other night that he does it deliberately to lull the teams into a ruse, a false sense of security. It's a ruse. It's a complete and utter ruse. So it's to just keep the fans guessing. It's when you think, here we go again. The fans think, here they bottling it again, and I'll show them. And then it also makes him look better. He told me it makes him look better because obviously it's his halftime pep talk that G's them all up, and then they score 5 goals, in the next 10 minutes. So, no, it's all, he's told me. So, I know. I found out. I did my investigations, 007 style, and he had to own up. I put the bright white light into his eyes. No, I don't know what it is. It's bizarre. I mean, for me, it's not a sustainable model. You can't just turn it on for a segment for a game. Like Melvin said, you've got to be playing. We've got a very good City side that are always better in the second half of the season. They're going to be right on our tails. We can't afford to play bit part games. We have to be on it for 90 minutes. And that is even if there's 20 minutes of injury time, if we're playing the Man U's and the Man Cities and the Liverpools, we've got to be on it right from the start of the whistle at the start of the game to the end whistle at the end. And we've got to be playing well. And the thing is, it just goes to show, doesn't it? If they can turn it on for those few minutes, it's not a problem with how the team's playing and about their abilities, because we can do it for 20, 30 minutes. So why can't we do it for 90? It doesn't make any sense. So, like Melvin, I have no idea what the issue is. Yeah,
it's kind of strange though, but we've done it so many times. We even did it against Bayern Munich, didn't we? I think we went in level and then we came out and sort of blew them away in a kind of 10, 15, 20-minute spell. You kind of wonder, is it the team getting a rocket up the backside? How often does that come off? When does that wear off after a while? Like Melvin said, you've got to come out. I think you've just got to come out and try and put these teams to bed. I thought there was a couple of honourable mentions. Obviously, Madueke, who started, I thought was on it from minute one. He had his defender on toast. Over-egged it a couple of times, I thought. But I just think he's trying to beat his man too many times. Maybe a little bit like when Sterling first broke through for Liverpool, and then when he first went to City, he was doing that a lot. He was he knew he was above weight, more, too good, and he kind of liked to. He kind of enjoyed himself a little bit too much. And I think the person that ironed that out of him was Mikel Arteta when he was obviously there at City, wasn't he? When he turned him into the goal scoring machine that he became for City for those couple of seasons. So if he does the same with Madueke and he's doing what he was doing on Saturday, what a player he could turn out to be. He definitely deserved a goal, and you know, obviously he kind of got the assist for Gabriel's goal, who had an eventful game with that pass. I don't know what it is with him and what it is with Evan Nilsson with us. He seems to get these kind of lucky goals. I think he got a handball goal last season when they beat us 2-1. I'm sure he put that in with his hand and he got away with it. Obviously, he got that one on Saturday. But it just shows you the measure of the man, doesn't he? That he came back, Melvin, in that first half, and he kind of did what he's done so often. I think he's kind of up there with one of the highest scoring defenders. I think, you know, in Premier League history, he's chasing it. Obviously, John Terry's up there. But what more can you say about, you know, the King of Brazil and the fact that
King of Brazil, but you got to label him as a warrior. That's what he is.
Yeah,
he is a warrior. He's someone that you know in the tunnel you're going to turn around, and if he's behind you or if he's your captain, you think that we've got half a chance. He's a terrific player, absolutely terrific. I mean, when he first came in the team, you thought he was going to play. He'd get a game every so often, and then when he did get in the side, you thought, well, he's not the main centre half. The one that plays inside him is the main one. Will it be Saliba or whoever it was? But he's just taken on that role. He's made that position his own. And I'm surprised he hasn't worn the captain's armband more than he has, because I think he deserves it. He is a true Arsenal captain. And for whatever reason, not knocking the player's ability, Odegaard, great players. But I mean, these last few games, Odegaard's been the best he's ever played for us. And I'm not his biggest fan, but I've had to say no. Whoa, he's been off the radar. But as a captain goes, you want someone shouting and screaming and doing all that. It's all very well and good doing it, flicking the ball and doing it and winning the toss, as they say. But if you want someone at the back shouting and screaming and getting everyone going, for me, he's the man. Yeah, Rice is another one, but he's got enough on his plate. He does enough things. How does he? I mean, I think if he tosses up the coin at the beginning of a match, that's enough to knock him out. He does so much the rest of the game. I think he's his level. He gives 100%. You can't have him tossing the coin out as well. That takes something away from his energy. You just got to play him as he is. Right? He would make a great captain as well. But for me, Gabriel would make a fantastic captain for us. And it's, as I say, I'm shocked he hasn't worn the armband when Saka hasn't been around or Odegaard hasn't been around. And he gives his, the field, he probably is a kind of captain, isn't he? He's a leader. But as I say, he is a warrior, and he's just improved in every dimension since he's first joined us all those years ago.
Yeah. Go on, Neil.
I was just going to add, I think he's the closest to Patrick Vieira that we've had in that kind of temperament that he's got. Because Patrick Vieira was another warrior, and I just think he's just slotted in as the next natural kind of individual to fill those boots. I really believe that, and I agree with Melvin. I mean, Odegaard, yes, he does lead by example, and he does all of that stuff with his feet, but I still prefer someone who's very vocal. I think maybe it's just the old man in me that's just, I've watched football since the late 70s, and I just love that kind of character, screaming, shouting. I hated the guy. John Terry was very similar, captain for Chelsea. We had Tony Adams, who for me is one of the, if not my favourite player of all time, especially for Arsenal certainly. So I just feel that someone who's vocal and has got that kind of how can you say, that ability to motivate not just himself but the others around him, not just with his football but also with a little bit of that, bit of the verbals. I think that's important, and I agree. I think Declan also could fill as well. I mean, he does most of the interviews anyway, Melvin, doesn't he? You don't see Odegaard doing many. You see Rice coming and doing most of them. So he's kind of a standing captain in any case. But for me, I think Gabriel's just amazing. He's incredible the way he turned that mistake around, and he's there. It's almost as if he almost. I felt like he manifested that to happen, to right his wrong.
Neil, I can't remember, Neil, but I half expected it. You know, you get a lot of players that score an own goal, then, or well, not own goal, make a mistake or score an own goal, and they go up the other end. And once I thought, you know what, he'd probably score now.
You're right. Yeah.
He's that type of player.
Yeah. I think as well, the good thing you could probably say about that is the goal came quite early, so we had enough time to sort of get ourselves back into the game and get ourselves level, which we did. But before we talk about another one of our captains in the team, which you've kind of touched upon, let's just jump into the chat. Just obviously say wishing everyone a happy new year. This is the year. And obviously Neil has said it's the year of the quad. Of course it is. Of course it is. Silly me. Steve is in the chat. How you doing, Steve? Says happy new year to everyone. Brian, even Jets, happy new year to you all. And what start to year? Got a feeling it could be a good one. Yeah, absolutely. Nick's in the chat as well. Big up to you. Hello to you. Hope you had a great new year, mate. And thanks for that. Thanks for the kind words. Steve says we're second half team. We'd like to suss out the other team and then make some tweaks at half time to go win the game. It's like chess. Yeah. It seems to be sort of something controlling like that. And Ryan says does make a difference where previous years tried to blow teams away from minute one and then blow up and concede in the second half. Guess that's what finishers are for. Yeah, we'll talk about that as well in a minute. The bench, they made a reference to that a few times during the commentary, and the bench is absolutely ridiculous. And you look at other teams, particularly Man City, who are losing players, in one position. All of a sudden there's this big story about it, but it wasn't when we had loads of players out of in one position. It was pretty much said, just get on with it, no excuses. But City will just drop another 150 million probably over the next few weeks, and everyone will kind of be rooting them on to chase us down again. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. Nick saying positive that we found a way back with Bournemouth. I think we will start the top over the coming months. Potentially Feb to March could be our best, and hopefully where we pull away. Yeah, fingers crossed that is the case with particularly Kai Havertz to come back in. And yeah, Brian saying definitely have to be more controlled and balanced, absolutely. And teams are ultra defensive against us and ultra defensive against Victor Gyökeres. That seems to be getting 5 people marking him every time he gets the ball, which is pretty insane. Thanks for the kind word. I won't try and pronounce the name. I hope you have a great day too. Nick saying it feels like we're trying to manage the game and our output, maybe to ensure energy at the back end of the season. Though there are no guarantees, I prefer killing games early and rotating. Yeah. I think that's what we're kind of used to. We've kind of, when we have won the title in the past with under Wenger, that's what we did, didn't we? We used to blow teams away 3-4-0 half time or whatever. And it was just like people reading newspapers in the second half and leaving 20 minutes early to get a seat at the pub because the game was already won, And but it seems we're in dogfights right till the very last minute in these games, apart from the Villa game. It seems most recently. So it'd be interesting to see how it pans out going forward, especially on Thursday. Brian says if Gabby is going to make a mistake, it's in a game like Bournemouth in January rather than City in April. Yeah, 100%. He'll probably score up there as well. You know what he's like.
Done it before.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Big Gabby wants it, says Steve. He takes responsibility for everything and doesn't let other teams try to come at us to forget it. He's that guy. Yeah. He I love how petty he is. He remembers everything that people say about the club and the disrespect. So I would do exactly the same if I was in his position, rubbing it in their faces. But Neil, let's talk about the other leader that we had, which you mentioned, Declan Rice. I've said at the top, I think the way he's playing, he's definitely in contention for Player of the Year for me. Not just Arsenal Player of the Year, Player of the Year, the PFA one. I mean, he's from when he came to the club, people said the first 6 months of his time, it was a bit difficult, wasn't he? People were kind of like he was a fish out of water a little bit on that left eight. He didn't seem to know where he needed to be. People said, he's a 6, play him as a 6. You wouldn't play him as a 6 now, would you? Not what he's capable of doing. But what can you say about his performance and just how vital he's going to be and how vital we are going? Well, Arteta, I should say, is going to have to manage him. Especially for this run of games that we've got. Like we said, we've got all these cup games. I don't want to see him in Portsmouth, for example. You know, if that game goes ahead with the weather and everything, I do not want to see him travelling. He doesn't need to. Doesn't need to be there. But knowing Arteta, he'll make him travel. You probably have him sit on the bench, probably with Zubimendi as well. They don't need to be there. Use the squad. Use this squad that the likes at which we three of us have not seen the depth of quality before, probably in our lives. But what's your thoughts on Declan Rice, Neil, on his performance and just how vital is he the key? Is he the key for us winning the title if he stays fit?
Oh, I would say so. I think before, and rightly so, Saka had that medal because he was leading the team for so many years as a young kid. I actually think now it's Rice. I think I would be more displeased to see Rice out for a period than Saka. I know that's quite a big bold statement, but the way Rice is just controlling things is just magical. Whether he has to do defending, whether he's attacking, whether he's being creative, whether he's whatever he's doing, I don't know how he's got the energy and the fuel tank. He can be the same at 96 minutes as he is in the first. However, I have to say, and I think that might be something to do with his injury, I thought he was a bit leggy in the first half, but it was the second half that he really came alive. I just could not see how he was the same person. It was incredible. I'm not saying that he was bad in the first half. I just thought he was a little bit rusty, a little bit leggy. Maybe as I said, he'd come back from the injury, hadn't he? A swollen knee or whatever it was, and impact the injury. I can't remember exactly, but or maybe he was just being careful himself. Maybe I don't know. One thing I will say, I agree with you. We cannot afford to play him every game. It doesn't matter if Arteta has got this squad. Berta has come in and given him the goods to have a really good extended squad here. We need to trust them and we need to use them. That's the only way that they're going to be able to, gain any confidence within themselves as players. Because if you're not getting minutes, you don't have a chance to do that. I find that is the exact reason why Ethan isn't the same player that he was when he first burst on the scene. He'd come on full of enterprise. He would destroy the defence on that left-hand side, and then he would just get on his left foot and smack the ball in the net. And he's not been doing that because he's not getting a chance. And it looks like he might be going on loan now. Yeah. And I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest, because I think he's good enough not to be on loan, but it's just that he hasn't had a chance. And I know there's lots of great players that probably are in the pecking order, and I understand all of this, but there have been opportunities where there's players like him that can be used. We've got Nurgaard, who's a damn good player. He's captain, wasn't he, of Bournemouth? Was he?
Yeah.
Brentford. Yeah, there you go. And he's got a great. He might not be the quickest, but he's got a great brain. I think he's got good vision, and he's a tough player. So we've got him. We've got options. We can even start maybe tinkering with MLS going into the midfield as well to play in that 6, and then you can have someone else going in as the 8. But yeah, Rice has definitely taken that 8 position. I wouldn't want to see anyone else there when he needs to be playing. I just think he's got all the attributes. He's adjusted amazingly well. And he did say that when he made that transition from West Ham to Arsenal. He said he's going to be very different because I was playing a very different kind of role at West Ham. I think he had to be more of the defensive player there. Yeah. But now, we're all about attacking. And I just think this suits his role perfectly because he's got such an engine on him. He can keep going and motoring. But the thing is, what I love about this guy is he's there when he's needed to be for defensive purposes. And he's got such great visual and awareness. It's ridiculous. That's what helped him with his 2 goals that he scored. Yeah. His visual awareness is just off the scale. I mean, the first one, especially that he scored, that was a really tight angle, guys. There was so many bodies in the box. I managed to just get it through like an arrow. It was perfect. So no, we can't do without him. But the problem is we're concerned, as Arsenal fans should be, because we have an injury 1 per game. Apart from the last one, I think. So the first game in about 20 that we've not had an injury.
Yeah, I think so.
It literally feels that way. So we've got to manage him, especially in this cold weather. I do not want to see him playing in the League Cup, even though we're in the semi-finals, because I think we'll have enough to beat Chelsea, especially with their all their stuff that's been going on recently with their manager and everything. Yeah. And I think we'll have enough against Portsmouth. We don't need him either. And likewise, Zubimendi, you're correct.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't think I just really, even Timber, He'll probably get taken along for the trip, but doesn't need to start. Put Ben White in. He's got to trust in the squad, and if you can't put these guys in against Portsmouth, not being disrespectful to him, but what is he doing? Melvin, Rice, would you put him up there as a candidate for Player of the Year? Do you think he's the key? If he stays fit, we win the league, or do you think we need to somebody else to help with that? Or do you think
he's
maybe
got to be managed? He's got
yeah,
to be
you think the two
this is the time of year. This is the time of games we've got that we can afford for him not to play. It's no good waiting the last 6 games of the season when we've got hopefully a Champions League semi and we're neck and neck with someone, and then we go, he can't play now. We've got to give him a rest. That's the wrong time. We're playing in the League Cup, the FA Cup. He's got, let's do it. Then even in the some of the European games, we've got dead rubbers, aren't they? They're just like nothing happening. I mean, we're there, aren't we? There's some team we play away to.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we're not going to give the game away, but we can win a game without him. Let's put it that way, against these clubs. So why don't we do it then? This is a chance now. We've got a window to say, right, you've got a couple of weeks just to chill out. Even we don't, as you say, Mike, we don't need him on the bench. Let him go abroad for a couple of weeks. Seriously, let him go to have a week's sunshine, come back, train with the team again, and he recharge his battery. You saw that did to the players a couple of years ago. And if you've got to do that to one or two special players like him, I think it should be done. On Nwaneri, that is a shame. That is a shame. I mean, the only thing I can think about is that he's out of favour because he doesn't track back enough.
Yeah.
That's the only, and the same with Eze, on honesty. Yeah. Because I think they're both brilliant footballers. They're the type of footballers that I would pay money to watch. You just pay money to watch those on the ball. They're brilliant. I think they're fantastic, and I would be upset that they don't play. And if he went on loan, it's the first sign of you're not one of us. Listen, he's strong enough, he's good enough. So what's he going to learn going on loan? It's only to get a game time. Well, if he can't get game time with us, when is he going to get game time with us? So I think that would be a bad move for him. Not necessarily for playing time, because he's going to play more time if he's on loan, but for his status and being an Arsenal player, I think it's a step down, in my opinion. And it's not disrespect to the club he goes to. Even if he goes to Liverpool, man, it's showing that he's not part of us, and he should be.
Yeah, I agree. And it does look like Ethan will go out on loan to, I think they're saying Bournemouth, aren't they? I think there's a couple other clubs interested as well. But if he does go, he needs to play whoever he needs. There's no point in going somewhere else and then just being in the same boat and sitting down. He needs to play, and Bournemouth will be good for him because I think Bournemouth have a forward, a front foot kind of play to their game, and I think Palace as well would be a great one for him. I think Palace would be a good fit for him. Brentford. Yeah. I think he goes to one of those three, then he'll. Yeah, I think he goes to one of those three. He'll gets in, and he gets minutes.
Not Stoke City.
Stoke? No, not Stoke. No.
Boring team this side of the Mississippi.
Not doing anything with them.
No, right.
But let's go back in the comments. And Nick says Gabriel's leading off the defence for me. It should be vice captain to Rice. Yeah. And in my humble opinion, Gabby is our best defender yet. Yeah. And Brian says, agree with Neil about Gabby and Vieira comparison, just less red cards. Gabby, Rice and Timber would fit in the Invincible squad. They were that good. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I don't think there's any doubts about that. Sleeper still celebrates our goals like a kid, and I love it. Yeah, he thought he did against Villa as well. He kind of shoved his face in the front of the camera, and they cut away as well. Absolutely lunatic. Declan Rice is absurdly a bargain at 100 million. Yeah, no one talks about the price anymore. I think they did that after the first half of his time at Arsenal. Really, first 6, 7, 8 months.
Well, it was laziness by the journalists, wasn't it, Mike? That was laziness.
Yes.
They were talking about it. Very lazy.
A complete contrast to Pepe, though. That's all we heard about, the 72 million price tag.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. As Steve says, all the players are taking responsibility now. I think they've realised, second 3 times in a row, they're taking it personally, a bit like Michael Jordan did. And so for me, the key, apart from Rice, is 1 or 2 of our attacking players consistently performing and getting goals and assists. Who would that be? No idea. So I hope Saka kind of, he got an assist. He got a nice assist when he came on. He's not been at the races completely. He didn't play well against Villa, I didn't think. You think we're scoring 4 goals and he wasn't involved. So I think he needs to come back. Trossard's had a good season, but you're right. I think one of those guys at the top needs to help out. Nick said, I agree with Neil. I would prefer Norgard to Marino. I want to see Everest's backup has left to 8. So like the load for Declan, give Miles the final 50 minutes more consistently. Yeah, he's not getting another one. He's not getting any minutes at all, is he? And I find that really, really strange. Obviously, they see stuff behind the scenes in training and everything, and attitude and stuff. But I think apart from the Bayern game when he played Miles, I think he's been all right when he's come on. I think he played well against Atletico. I think his run created one of the goals, wasn't it? When
beat them Martinelli's goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember which one.
He put it in the far post, an Henri type goal.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so he's done well apart from that Bayern game. So Nick said the final 2 CO games are effectively dead rubbers. I'd sit in the rotate Melvin just beat me to it. Yeah, I think the key thing with the Champions League is you've got to finish in the top 2. If you finish in the top 2, your run, however far you get in the Champions League, your second leg will always be at home. So I think to guarantee first place, we need a win. So whether that comes against Inter, if it doesn't come in against Inter, fine. With our last game is against Kiryat at home, who are bottom of the table, so they're absolutely useless. So if you don't win against Inter, we get a point or whatever, fine. Then we just make sure it's all done and dusted against them. So it's probably one of them you could say will be a dead rubber after that. But yeah, it will be a massive difference going into that knockout phase, knowing whoever we play has to come to the Emirates for the second leg, especially with the atmosphere that we're generating there. So yeah, Brian saying Rice definitely doesn't feature against Portsmouth, as Mel said. It's an opportunity for a few days of winter sun. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and maybe Zubimendi as well. Give him a winter break because he's not had one. He's played in Spain all his life, and he's not had a winter break. So I think you need to look after him as well because he's played pretty much nearly every single game and he's been really, really key as well, hasn't he? Brian said Ethan definitely shouldn't go out alone, but we must take into consideration that he's 18. He should stay in camp, but he still is on his journey. His time will definitely come. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? You kind of think, what does he want? Does he want to be around, this, when we're in all the competitions, Champions League, quarterfinals, semi-finals? Does he want a chance to be a part of that? Because you never know with injuries, all of a sudden he gets called up, or does he want to sort of say, no, I need to think about my development? I don't know. I would like him to stay, obviously, 100%, because I think he'll end up having an opportunity because of our bloody injuries. But at the same time, if he's not happy, you've got to have someone who you can't have someone who's not happy around the camp, can you? Because you're just going to have you've got to have him and Arteta butting heads, and you don't want that.
But it's a vicious circle, isn't it? His unhappiness is probably generated the fact that he's not getting time, and if you play him and entrust in him, then that makes a happy player. I'm not saying players should just walk into the club and feel they've got an entitled divine right to play. I'm not suggesting that. But what annoys me is we have had opportunities to use him. That's the thing. Why did we give him a contract then? What was it, last year or the year before? Another extended contract. If we thought that, he's not going to get much playing time, that doesn't make sense. And this thing about, doing your defensive duties. Look, I agree that all 10 outfield players have a defensive duty as well as everything else. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, creative midfielders and forwards are not defenders. We have a decent defence already. We've got probably the world's best goalkeeper, and we've got an amazing midfield player in Rice and whoever's going to be playing the 6, because we've got a choice. Their job is to defend. For me, the forward should be focusing on going forward, progressing, and taking those opportunities. And I think that's where maybe Ethan has been curtailed because he's been told, no, you're not doing enough of that. And maybe that's hit him mentally in a negative way. I don't know. Because I know he's not the player that we saw when he first started. Every game he was cameoing in, we were like, oh my God, look at him. Look what he's just done. Oh, he scored again. Oh, he just missed that. That just missed the post with his left foot. I'm not seeing that at all anymore from him. And I don't quite agree with that. I'm not saying that at times, yes, Martinelli's great at it. Even Jesus is great at it. They get back, they defend. I'm not suggesting they don't. But that's not their role. We go on about how happy we are, and we talk about it maybe with a bit of tongue-in-cheek, that Gabriel's got 20 Arsenal goals already, or 20 goals for Arsenal. We won't be saying that about Gyökeres if he's got 20 goals already, or would we? Because that's his job. It's not a defense job to attack, and vice versa. That's just my stupid opinion, but that's what I see it.
No, I hear you, mate. I absolutely hear you. Let's go back in. Nick's giving us his team for Portsmouth. So he's gone Neto. Probably means Kepa, I think. Don't want to play Neto again after what he did last season. Jesus. Running up on the 18-yard box to try and intercept a pass. Jesus Christ. And you've got White, Saliba, Gabriel. Yeah, so you've got the two at the back. Should be an easy day for him. You want to make sure that there's no problems there, I guess, because I guess who have you got to play centre back? Miles, Eze, Norgard, Marino, Anoni, Gyökeres to boost him, hopefully get a couple of goals, and Martinelli, Calafiori is fit, put him as left back and move Miles to left eight. Yeah, that team has got more than enough to take care of Portsmouth. I'm sorry. It'll be the first 20 minutes, you know what it's like. They'll be up for it. The crowd will be going for for every tackle, every header. You know, you win your duels for the first 20 minutes. We knock the ball about at the back for the first 20 minutes, and then we just kill them. And that's what's going to happen. And I'm sure that's what Arteta is going to be drumming into whoever goes out there. But I would like to see Ethan stick around and get a chance. You know, he may do if he doesn't play against Portsmouth. He's definitely going. He's definitely out of the building because obviously. So yeah. So if he doesn't play against Portsmouth, he's not going to play. Brian said Ethan's still getting his football education. He'll get some minutes of sorts. Still have 18 league games, cup semi-finals, FA Cup and Champions League. Still got potential 30 something games to be involved in. Yeah, absolutely. But I think
the last 10 games, how many minutes he played?
I think he's probably played
5. Featured.
Yeah. He's not been in the squad.
30 games, he may not feature in them 30 games.
Yeah, he's not been in the squad for the last 2 games. I don't think he was a squad against Villa or Bournemouth. So yeah, I think he's pretty much writings on the walls, and I think what will happen on Sunday when we play Portsmouth will be pretty much confirmation that he's going to be going out on loan somewhere. And yeah, Nick says, I think he's been scarred by Neto. That's why I put him in there for what he did. So what do you think to get minutes like Miles? So to get a winners medal if we win the league? Yeah, absolutely, yeah, and it would be nice for them. But hopefully it will be the start of a run of league wins if we do get one over the line this season. And hopefully they will both be part of it, because like Neil said earlier, he signed a long-term contract. I know that's kind of to protect the market value of the two of them, but I think at the same time, I think they're too good not to get any minutes at all. I think it's just Arteta. He still has trust issue, hasn't he? Even though he's got the best squad that pretty much all of us have seen, he's still got trust issues. So let's go on to the. I didn't really give him any time of day, really, Melvin. But the commentary of the Bournemouth game. Is it Don Goodman, who I don't know why he's got this spot as a co-commentator? He didn't do anything. As a player, really. He was a bang average player. But yeah, for years he's been, whenever he commentates against Arsenal, he's always had it against us. But on Saturday, I don't know what happened. He was proper on it. He was saying some outrageous stuff, talking about, I think there was a foul that Gyökeres got called for, which wasn't a foul. He said he ran into him. Gyökeres had his eye on the ball all the way. It was never a foul. Talking about the time wasting, saying that Arsenal getting away with murder, stuff like that.
The referee said it twice. The referee is allowing Arsenal to get away with murder. That's disgraceful.
To use that sort of language and stuff like that is just unbelievable.
That is something a guy says who's had a couple of beers, who's supporting the team, and he's on the terrace, and that's what he would shout out after a couple of beers. Not a commentator. Sorry. His mask not only slipped, it got thrown out the ground.
You put some tweets out. What was your thoughts on that?
One of them I put out during the game. I go, is Don Goodman freezing just wearing a Bournemouth shirt, shorts, and socks? You know, I mean, it was that. And the other one was after the final whistle went, I gave it a bit. I went, has Don Goodman stopped crying yet? Because he must have been so upset we won. And also, they took a free kick or a throw. I can't remember what it was, and they did take a long time. Didn't matter to us. They took, for some reason, they had a good, and it was far longer than Arsenal took in the corner or the throw the guy was talking about. And yet, Don Goodman, it was like chalk and cheese. No. He made some disgraceful things as well. I mean, it was just every time he was he the one against Sunderland when we played away at Sunderland? I
wouldn't be surprised. It was either him or Alan Smith, but they're both the.
I get the shivers for both of them. And as a player, Alan Smith was fantastic, but I think he was taken upstairs by the Martians and come back a different geezer. But against, I think it was Sunderland, it might have been him, whoever it was. It just shows the biasness against us. What they did, Sunderland moved the ball round the pitch to stop us taking long throws. Well, number one, we've never really been that great at long throws, right? And they said it's very clever. Now, if we would have done it, it was cheating. It is cheating. You don't change your pitch for who you're playing against. I think that is cheating. And they said, no, it's clever. No. It's two-tier. That's crap. You're so biased. But Don Goodman, he was on steroids. He really was. When Arsenal played Bournemouth, he couldn't wait. He was wherever he was standing. Every time we scored, you could imagine him slumping in his seat, going, "Oh no," you know. I mean, don't the people who put the show on listen and watch and go, "This geezer's off the scale. Well, we can't have this. This is ridiculous." You cannot have it. I'm sorry. It's not as if he played the Spurs or he didn't play for anyone decent, did he? With all due respect. No. So it's not as if he played for a team against us or we let him go. He had a trial with us and he just, couldn't make the cut. I mean, I just don't know where he gets his hate from. Where does he get it from?
I don't know. He's always been like that with us or Arsenal. I mean, I think the worst thing for me was when Bournemouth scored and he said the whole of the UK will be celebrating that goal. I'm thinking, hang on a second. Where's that come from? It's like, that's unbelievable. I mean, you're right. I think he was proper on one yesterday on Saturday. I don't know what he's got a few pelters and a few people have tagged Sky in it and everything, and another go at him talking about the way his level of commentary. It was just shocking. It was really, really poor. It was almost like it was like Bournemouth FC. Clubs commentating their own games, and Arsenal do it.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough if they do that.
Bournemouth TV sort of, they piped into that feed. It was shocking, and Brian says, he normally does championship games. Probably because that's his level, but they were better off getting someone on work experience. Because it was that bad. It was awful. James saying Don Goodman made me miss Smudger. That's how bad it was. Nick saying journalistic integrity has been seriously eroded in today's country. It's just rubbish now, isn't it? It's so poor. You can count the number of good ones on one hand, and even though those ones annoy you now, even like Ali McCoy. He was really good, but he's just got so annoying now. Every single thing that happens with Ali McCoy is, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like, it's the greatest pass I've ever seen. It's the greatest shot I've ever seen. It's the greatest goal, greatest game. Everything's the greatest with Ali McCoy. He's just so over the top. I think he's realised that, he's got a little bit of a stick here. He's got a little bit of a thing. Everyone who rates him, he keeps getting all these awards, so he's just lapping it up and stuff. So. They're all annoying. James said, I just wanted to stay quiet and watch, but had to join in the Goodman panel. He should stick to making TVs.
Going back a few years. It's
not
all
very good either.
isn't it, gentlemen, as well? On the old, we only score from corners. I know we do score from corners and free kicks, but we score other goals. All of a sudden, it's all gone a bit quiet now. So I suppose the next thing they'll have a go at, so we're not scoring enough penalties.
Yeah, I know. Message from Kane, Liverpool fan, how you doing, mate? Thanks for the message. He's going to the game with his little lad on Thursday. He's dreading it. He fears Trossard. Obviously, Trossard's got a little bit of form. He scored a hat-trick up there against them, didn't he? Because he's so direct, and also Rice, what a player, yeah. I think Liverpool will turn up that game because I think it will be more of a... It won't be like the one at Anfield. I don't think that was like a bit of a chess match. And I think there was a lot of... Early in the season, nobody wanted to sort of get sort of turned over properly. And obviously, I know they scored that wonder free kick, but I think it's not going to be as open. It's not going to be as cagey as that game. Even though Liverpool probably a bit smarting from that wonder goal they let in themselves the other day against Fulham.
That was a unbelievable goal, wasn't it?
Unbelievable goal. But it could be interesting how they come out, really, because I think they want to put a performance in because obviously it's a chance for them to obviously dent us and sort of get some of the fans back on side a little bit because I think they've not been happy with how things have gone. But so let's talk about that, Neil. So far this season, against teams that we've kind of had a bit of a problem with this season and last season, we've turned them over, got a little bit of revenge. Obviously with Newcastle and stuff like that and Villa. What's your thoughts on Thursday? How are you feeling about that?
To say that I'm not nervous is going to be a lie. Of course, I'm nervous. They are still whatever they've been doing this season. They're still going to be a very tricky prospect.
Yeah,
and they'll want to do the double over us because if we are inevitably to win the thing, at least their fans are going to be saying, "Oh well, we got the double over them" and all this, and they're going to they don't need any motivation. That's the thing I'm trying to say. I don't think they need any motivation for that game. However, I just think, and the performance that really sticks in my mind, although I wished it had been for over 90 minutes. The result against Villa was key for me. The way we were in our temperament and mentality for that game, I expect us to employ that same kind of attitude for Thursday night.
Yeah,
and I think because of that, I actually believe that this group of players are so hungry that they're not going to let anything get in their way. Even if the game isn't going to plan and it's not going great, they will find a way with grit and determination. I'm not particularly worried about any set of players from Liverpool. I mean, I think their defence is not the same as it used to be, and I think that's where we could probably exploit them because we've got the players capable to do that of doing that. I've no idea who the front line should be because there's always you're going to get someone who's not quite with it and think, well, no, maybe this person should play in this instead of this person. But that Liverpool fan very kindly, mentioned Trossard. I think he's a good shout because he turns up in the big games for me. And I'm not saying that Martinelli isn't good enough because I think he's been brilliant in the Champions League, but I think that's where he's been more of an effect. He's been great in the Champions League because it's slightly slower and he has more freedom and space. I think for a game against Liverpool, I think Trossard probably be the better option on that side.
Yeah.
And then I can't see him not playing Saka. They say it's just a question of does he stick with Gyökeres, as I call him, or does he maybe try out Jesus? And I wasn't very impressed with Jesus when he came on.
No.
I don't really think he did anything, to be fair.
Yeah.
He started off well, don't get me wrong. He started off brilliantly. Those cameos. And then that goal he scored, that goal was a peach, wasn't it? I still can't get over that one. But you've got to be consistent at this level. We can't afford to have any luxury in any players for any minutes of this rest of this Premiership season. Everyone has got to be up for it for every single second that they get, because that's how competitive it is. That is the only way. In fact, the way I see it, we've got to play the second half of this season with perfection to win it, because we know what Man City do second half of the season, and that's another thing. If we can do them, if we can beat Liverpool, I think that obviously you don't have to ask me. I know we're going to win, but if we can beat Liverpool, If we can, that's a massive statement. We've already made a statement against Aston Villa. We've already made statements against the teams that we struggled with, this time last season. We've got our revenge, to get revenge on Villa 25 games after, 25 days after what they did to us is massive. So we've got to just maintain that. I don't fear them. I think they should be more worried than we should. And I think the first game of the season, by all accounts, if we had not shown them so much respect and not been so cagey, I think we would have won that game. I think we just showed them so much. It was a moment of magic that no one can deny that. That free kick was an incredible free kick. You can't. It's for me like the Bournemouth goal. That they're saying, people might say, well, could Ray have done better? The defense, no, that was just a great shot.
Yeah, great hit. Yeah.
If Gyökeres or Jesus had done that, we'd be talking about that rather than the frailties of the defense.
Yeah.
Sometimes you, as a football fan, a true football fan, will say, do you know what? As much as I hate it, that's a great goal.
Yeah.
And that's what Liverpool scored against us. We have got to make sure for that game, we have to play 90 minutes. For that game, we have to start on the front foot. And I think we've got to get 2 or 3, at least an early goal. We've got to score first, get on the front foot, and then put them under tremendous pressure. That's the way I see it. Yeah,
it's going to be an interesting game. I think it's the highest scoring Premier League game in history. I think if it's not, it's the second one as well. It's normally loads of goals. It seems like we're going in at full strength as well, especially with the way we rotated on against Bournemouth with Saka and Trossard coming off the bench as well. So obviously those two, I imagine they will start as well. Melvin, you feeling confident, Melvin, for that one on Thursday?
Yeah, I do feel a bit confident. Of course I do. You would do. I don't think, obviously, Liverpool are not as good as they were last season for whatever reason. Though they started off quite well. We showed them too much respect at Anfield. They were there for the taking. It wasn't after the game that we said we could have beaten them. It was during the game. I was shouting at the screen, what we're doing, and we should take them on. And we just didn't. I forgot about, but what I will, just what Neil said, just don't 100% agree, is, we know what Man City can do second half of the season. Well, so far they've dropped 4 points. So perhaps they can't do it this time. It will, I think that they're not showing. They against Sunderland, they had loads of very good chances, but they couldn't put the ball in the net. Against Chelsea, I didn't think they were that good. They had a couple of very good chances before they scored. But once they scored, they went into their shell. Yeah. And you normally they'd go 2, 3, 4 up and be game over. It wasn't happening. So I just think they've lost that little bit of sparkle. I hope I'm right, City, because of the injuries they've got. Normally, they don't talk about injuries with City. They've just got a conveyor belt of signings. I suppose they're signed 2 in January to make up for it. But they are talking about it. It's as if they're trying to make an excuse before the fall-off happens. So that's what gives me a bit of confidence. So, Thursday night's going to be absolutely another great evening. And hopefully we have got the squad. We have got the team. We have got the knowledge to beat them, because, as I say, I don't think that Canute, is it, the centre half, he's got a mistake in him.
Yeah, he's not had a great season.
Van Dijk's not playing, though he's a great player, Van Dijk. He's not the player of last year. I don't know whether he's getting he's a year older, or because he's woken up to the fact he's playing next to Canute. I don't know the reason, but he's not playing. He's not quite the dominant geezer he is. And you forgot, we might bring on sub 20 minutes go. Havertz might have a go. You never know. And that's another isn't it? That's another completely different centre forward. So the centre halves might have 3 different types of centre forwards to mark on Thursday night, or going forward. I'm talking about as well, the better defences. So you've got to be. If you're not confident about us being Liverpool, no disrespect to Liverpool, they're a great team and they're a great side. But if you can't think, but you don't actually think we're better, then something's wrong. You've got to have confidence. Nothing's certain in football. We know that. That's why there's bookmakers. But you've got to fancy our chances of beating Liverpool on Thursday night.
Totally agree. Cade, come back. I don't mind Arsenal. If you win the league, you deserve it. Top side. Just hope Ekitike is fit for us. Wirtz plays so much better with Ekitike. But big up you guys. Fair play. It's always good to get an opposing fan come in with respect. So fair play to you, mate. Thanks, Kate. Brian saying, I think the squad is healthy. The finishers could be crucial if it's necessary, but our current first 11 is now up to speed and driven to right the wrongs from Anfield. Yeah, absolutely. Steve says, Liverpool are no mugs. They're champions for a reason, and they won't want to give any title contenders a chance. I think again, one goal wins it, possibly. Yeah.
Oh, I can't take one goal, Steve. I can't have one goal. I can't take it.
No, what you doing? Okay, he said, yeah, the game at Anfield was like a chess game. Why that game? Yeah, it was. It wasn't enjoyable, was it? Yeah, and Steve reckons it's gonna be more chess in the game. My dad always says Highbury was his favourite away ground. See Kenny Douglas score a class goal there in 87, 88. But if you score early, then my God, yeah, he's not confident.
I think you beat us 2-0 or 2-1. Was that opening game of the season? 87-8. The opening game of the season.
Was you there? Was you there, Brent?
I was there. Yeah, it was opening game of the season. They beat us 2-0 or 2-1. I think it was. They went 2-0 up, and then we got one back. So the guy who wrote that, I can't remember who it was now. Kane. Ask him if it was that game when they beat us 2-1. First game of the season.
Was it 87, 88?
Yeah.
87, 88. Let's have a look. See if it comes up. On the 15th of August, 1987, Arsenal 1, Liverpool 2.
It's the first game of the season, isn't it?
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, 15th of August. Yeah, that would have been.
They were a good team, man. That Barnes and all that, they were terrific.
Finished sixth that year. Yeah. Let's have a look. If you see that. So yeah, you're right, Melv. Yeah, it was the first game of the season. 15th of August, 87. Yeah, Liverpool won that 2-1. Not a great start, was it? Bloody hell.
No.
QPR used to be a tough team. I remember them.
Yeah, you used to have nightmares here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, there's an omen. We beat Portsmouth 6-0. There you go. Have a look
wow.
At that. Have a look at that.
Yeah.
Glasses. Well, let's have a look.
We don't need Rice, Zubimendi, Saka, no one. We'll
take that.
We'll do another 6-0. Yeah, that's my prediction for Portsmouth.
We'll take that. Yeah, we'll absolutely take that.
This brings memories well, Vin. My God.
The fact that we've got Portsmouth after that means that you kind of can leave it out on the table, can't you? Thursday, because he's gonna, if he's gonna go really strong, obviously the first thing he can go all in, put the effort in, and knowing that he can like fully rotate, the Portsmouth game. So yeah, just hopefully we can do the business. Arteta out if you don't win the trophy this season, says Amari. Yeah, probably good memory. Yeah.
Oh, Melvin's like the oracle.
Encyclopedia, mate. But yeah, fingers crossed. It's. I think there'll be goals in this. I think 3-1. I can see as well. I can see them scoring because they normally score against us when we play against them. And I'll take a 3-1. And as long as it's better game than the one at Anfield. Again, that was really like a chess game.
Can I retract what I said earlier, because I think Melvin's right. Actually, I didn't think about that, but there is still one team that can beat us, Melvin.
Oh, of course.
Do you know who that is?
Us.
Yeah.
I can play.
Yeah. 100%. 100% nil. Best game I've seen at the Emirates was the Liverpool was 3-3. Yeah, I worked that game. I was working the steward, and I remember walking to the game and thinking to myself, what's the score going to be? And I predicted 3-3. I said it's going to be 3-3.
What?
And I remember I put it on my Facebook post at the time, and then after the game when I got stood down and walked out, my mate who saw it, he goes, I hope you put a tenner on that 3-3. And I said, no, I didn't. So. Yeah,
that's a great prediction.
Because I just knew at the time both teams, it was just defensively they weren't that strong, but going forward they were just unbelievable. And that was an unreal game. We were losing and we turned it around, didn't we? And then think Ozil and second half we went mad for 20 minutes in the second half, and then we gave a silly goal away. I think it was Salah. I think it equalised it, or Firmino. One of those.
Was Sanchez playing in that year? I can't remember. Was he?
I think so. I think
something. One of my regrets watching the Arsenal is that I watched one of the greatest Arsenal players who didn't play that well for us, if that makes sense. You just mentioned him. If Ozil would be in this squad, right, he'd be unbelievable, because we can carry one player, not having to run everywhere, and we wouldn't be frightened of playing away from home like we did with the squad we had. And he didn't play away from home against the big teams, let's face it, on certain occasions. But him in midfield would be, oh my God. It would be. So, I mean, I didn't appreciate him at the time. I knew he was good. I knew he was a wonderful footballer. I wanted him before we signed him. I couldn't believe we signed him. But he didn't quite get to the level that he should have got to with us. He was world class without actually being world class for us, if that makes sense. Some of his goals were unbelievable.
The only thing I found about him, for me, was I think he dropped off once he won the World Cup. It's almost like
possibly.
I remember that, because there was a period where he was, especially with Sanchez, forged such a great partnership together.
Against Chelsea at home, I remember.
And I know a lot of people really have it in for Ozil, and they didn't appreciate his work rate or lack of it. Yeah, but I don't know. There was times when I saw him linking up with Sanchez, and even with Ramsey, there was a point where he was linking up really well with Aaron Ramsey before Ramsey got his injury. Ramsey was smashing it that season, and he was working well with Ozil. I remember this. And then he went and got injured, didn't he? And then it all fell apart. But Ozil had some great spells with Sanchez and Ramsey, but especially Sanchez, I remember that.
Problem is they didn't have a good defence behind them, did they?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm sure it's going to be a good game. A good game, hopefully. Like I said, better than the one at Anfield.
What are you predicting, Michael? Come on. Let's have a score prediction from.
3-1. I think we'll win it 3-1. So we were 2-0 up, and then Ozil turned it around in the second half. Yeah, I remember that game. I was just looking at it online, and Firmino equalised. He always scored against us, so it's absolutely.
I remember that. Wasn't that quite late on?
Absolute pain in the ass was that guy.
We've got this. And then that's I remember.
Brian, saying what's your career score? And I was in, So if you could fit Sanchez on the left hand side of this team we've got now.
Oh my God,
pretty much sorted, right? You wouldn't have to worry about anything else. I think everyone else is in trouble if that happens. But yeah, gents, thank you so much for your time this evening. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Really, really appreciate the time that you've taken to watch us on this Tuesday evening. Hope your new year has been great to all of you so far. We'll be back after the Liverpool game, myself and Steve, to have a rapid recap of that game. Let's hope it's an exciting one, and let's hope it goes in our favour. Sorry, Kane, and hopefully we can remain our lead. I think City are playing tomorrow, aren't they? So could be playing not catch up, but the lead could be cut quite a little bit.
Who they got?
I've forgotten. Who they got? Let's have a look on here.
Melvin's right.
Brighton. They've got Brighton.
Ooh, interesting. Away.
At home. They've got Brighton at home, and Villa have got Palace, and Palace away, and Palace have got their number. I think Palace have sort of done them over a good few times, really. So it's going to be another interesting game week of Premier League football. But thank you so much to everybody in the chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Melvin, the Arsenal godfather. Have you back on again very soon.
Thank you very much. Always appreciate it when you invite me on. Thank you very much.
No. Sorry, I can't get you on enough. It's just I get lost in. It's like the opposite of Arteta. I trust my squad that I've got, but I don't play him as much like he does. But no, we'll have you on again very soon, Melvin. Thanks for coming on as always. Love to the family. Have a good rest of the year, mate. And also, Neil, the Arsenal, Jason Bourne, the most dangerous Arsenal fan alive. He's about to, before he sneaks back into the shadows and goes on a chase through St Pancras Station before he jumps on the Eurostar to continue that high-speed chase.
I want to know where you get this information from, because it's not true.
Thanks for your time again, man. I really appreciate it, and love to your family as well this new year, and love to everybody in the chat. Again, like I said, we'll be back on Thursday night to have a rapid recap of the big one on Thursday night. So happy New Year again. Take care. Be safe. Up the Arsenal. Come on.